Okay, so on the night of Leil Seder, our oldest son Uri asked a question, why are there 10 plagues? Why did God bring about his 10 plagues? And embarrassingly, we had a basic answer, but not the truth, not a real answer. So as a result, I looked, and lo and behold, I found in the majestic commentary of Rabbi Yaakov Abuhetziera, Bigdei Hasrad, his Kabbalistic commentary on the Haggadah, I found my answer. Bigdei Hasrad, if one is not swimming in understanding Lurianic Kabbalah, it is a text that's not worth opening, except when you read his commentary on the Ten Commandments, you can read it and sort of get a feeling that you think you understood. So we're going to go with this. Rabbi Yaakov Abuhetziera teaches us, why did God bring about the 10 plagues? He brought them about on the Egyptians because the Egyptians wanted to uphold the Israelites of receiving the 10 Commandments. And as we know, and we already learned this actually, Rabbi Yaakov Abuhetziera teaches us this in Genesis, the only reason the world was created was so that someone, or the Israelites, could receive the Torah. And if we did not receive the Torah and the Ten Commandments, the world goes back to Tohu Vavohu. This is actually how he starts his commentary on the Bible. So we see how there's, tightly knit together his commentary also on the Haggadah. And so he says, the Egyptians who wanted to uphold the Israelites of receiving the Ten Commandments, and then the world goes back to Tohu Vavohu, midah keneged midah. He gives them the exact judgment they deserve, therefore he brings about the 10 plagues. But it's more than that. He says, if you look at the 10 plagues and you compare them to the 10 Commandments, each plague symbolizes or is given as punishment for one of the commandments. Now, what is the worst, most the worst commandment, the most severe commandment, or the most severe plague? The last one, the killing of the firstborn, and that goes hand in hand, or that is a punishment for the first commandment, which is the most important, right? So the last goes with the first being, I am your Lord, and that means, Rabbi Yaakov Abuhetziera teaches us, that the first plague, dam, blood, is punishment for the last of the 10 Commandments, which is lo tachmod. How do we know this? It is hinted in lo tachmod, the 10 Commandments ends with the letter dalid. That dalid is an actual hint and symbol in the Bible for the dalid of dam, of blood. And he says, what happens when someone, thou shalt not covet, right, what your neighbor has? What happens to you when you want something your neighbor has? Your blood starts to warm up and boil, you desire something. Those Egyptians that desired, they could not contain themselves, stop themselves, they wanted to rid the world of the 10 Commandments and the Israelites, so he's going to bring on them the plague of blood. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'll just give you, for example, the next one, the plague of the frogs. In Hebrew, tzfardea. Rabbi Yaakov teaches us as the gematria, you can split this word up to two, peretz and ed, witness and breaking through. What is the second plague, right, bringing the frogs about? It coincides, it goes together, or it is a punishment for the 9th commandment, which is thou shalt not bear false witness, right? So ed is witness, and peretz is someone who bears false witness is like someone who breaks through a gate they shouldn't be going in. It's like someone who does not believe in the divine providence of the Lord on this world, because if you did, surely you would not bear a false witness, because you know that God hears everything that you say. And so for the Egyptians who did not want the Israelites to bear witness to the Bible, to get the 10 Commandments, he brings upon them the frogs. The last commandment here will end the killing of the firstborn. That goes with I am your Lord. Because the Egyptians wanted to stop the Israelites, who were going to become the firstborn of God and receive the Torah, he killed their firstborn. A majestic, marvelous commentary that shows you, go into Bigdei Hasrad, go plague by plague, you will see brilliantly how Rabbi Yaakov shows you, not just because there are 10 here and 10 there, but that the Bible hints and hides in it signs. And he says this is why Rabbi Yehuda gives the plague signs, datzach adash. He doesn't just give them signs. It's because he's hinting at where they are in the 10 Commandments in the Bible, thoughts on why there are 10 Commandments, and finally we have a good answer for our boy Uri. Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach.